Another week that didn't go well. Week 3 didn't go well. Again, I went 8 for 8. My credibility is so minus right now. But in all seriousness, this has been the year of underdogs. 44% of underdogs have won this year, and 63% of underdogs have covered the spread. Like, what? Like, what? But anyways, this is my record. I don't even know what it is, but it'll be, like, right next to my face. But let's just move on into Week 4 predictions. Miami versus Cincy. Now, for Thursday Night Football, believe it or not, my record is 3-0. I picked the Bills Week 1 against the Rams. I picked the Chiefs Week 2 against the Chargers, and I picked the Browns Week 3 versus Steelers. I hope I didn't just jinx it, but anyways, let's carry on. Miami in Cincy. Cincy's at home. Don't think the Dolphins will beat Lamar, Josh, and Joe back-to-back. If they do, hands down. But the game is in Cincinnati, and I keep doubting Miami. I like Mike McDaniels, former 49ers coach. But in terms of just narrative, I can't see them winning those back-to-back games. And I feel like the Bengals are going to win this game, prove that Miami is beatable, shut down all the Miami talk, and erase the 0-2 start to the season and start picking up the pace as Cincy should be doing. Moving on, Minnesota versus New Orleans. This could go either way. Both teams are just so flip-floppy. The Saints are at home, and they just had a tough loss to the Panthers. I'm going to roll Vikings here, and I'm questioning it because, yeah, they won against the Lions, but they're down that whole game. But it's just a gut feeling, honestly. They do have a better offense. So, moving on, Cleveland versus Atlanta. No Myles Garrett, I believe. He just got in a car crash. Prayers up. Hope everything's okay. It looks like everything's okay. Hopefully he doesn't play because he does deserve the rest. Falcons are at home, and they did look strong against the Seahawks. This is another game that could go either way. But watching the Seahawks-Falcons game, the Seahawks were running the ball like extremely well, especially in the second half, and they got the run game going. And that is the Browns' bread and butter. So I do think the Browns are going to get her done. Rolling Cleveland, Washington versus Dallas. Washington's O-line sucks. They got mucked by Aiden Hutchinson in the first half against the Lions. They got absolutely annihilated by the Eagles. They gave up 8-9 sacks. I mean, it was brutal. And that Cowboys pass rush is going to muck. They mugged the Giants and Danny Jones in terms of getting pressures and sacks on Monday night. The game's in Dallas too, and Dallas owned Washington last year. This should be the second lock of the week. Dallas should definitely win this game, even with Cooper Rush. Seattle versus Detroit. The Lions have been competitive in every single game. Like I keep saying, they are the best, worst team I've ever seen in my life. In a different universe, they could fully be 3-0. They lost to the Vikings in the final minute, and week 1, they almost beat the Eagles. Okuda is finally showing up. Good for him. And that offense has been electrifying. They've been putting up points, and they should be putting up points against Seattle. All they have to do is just show up a little bit on defense, and their offense should get this game done against the Seahawks. Rolling Lions at home. Colts versus Titans in Indianapolis. I have no idea. I just don't. This division is just random. It could go either way. I know I'm saying this for most games, but literally, actually, if you look at the schedule this week, most games are actually very, very tight. The Colts just beat the Chiefs after losing the Jags and tying the Texans. Gonna go with the Colts solely due to the fact that they're at home, and I see them being. I can't see them being winless in the first half of their division games again. Tie Texans, lost the Jags, to lose the Titans. That's winless in your first half division games. I just can't see it. And they're at home, so it's just safety pick. I'm going to go with Colts. Chicago versus New York. Giants are at home. The refs kind of screwed the Giants last game. There was a lot of questionable calls, honestly. And Chicago's 2-1, but both wins were at home. Still not high on Chicago. I'm going to go with the Giants here at home. Jags versus Philly. Again, I'm high on Philly. I keep saying Philly is going to win this division. And I've been doubting the Jags. Can I see the Jags pull this off? You know what? There's going to be a quarterback who can end this EO streak. Trevor Lawrence versus Jalen Hurts. Clemson versus Alabama. Give me Trevor Lawrence. Bold prediction of the week. I'm going Jags. Away in Philly. Next up, Jets versus Pittsburgh. Zach Wilson is back. I'm intrigued to see how he's going to do. They got mucked by the Ravens. They got mucked by the Bengals. They got mucked by the Browns for the first 57 minutes of the game. And you know what? It's AFC North fever for the Jets in Pittsburgh. I'm going to go Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record in his career. And I can't see them starting 1-3 and losing this game at home in Pittsburgh. These are the games they need to be winning if Mike Tomlin wants to keep that streak. Bills at Ravens. This should be the game of the week. Lamar has been having an insane year. Definitely an MVP candidate. Josh Allen has been having an insane year. Definitely an MVP candidate. I feel like Josh can be determined after that tough loss. My gut is saying Ravens, and I know I should always go with my gut. But the Ravens have been getting slaughtered by wide receivers recently. I mean, Devontae Parker went off. Tyreek Hill went off in that fourth quarter. So Diggs should have a field day. He's been having a great start to the season. And I'm going to roll with the Buffalo Bills. Moving on, Chargers versus Houston. Houston mucked the Chargers last year. Herbert has been knocked up with his ribs. The game is in Houston. I believe Keenan Allen is finally returning. I can't see the Chargers falling 1-3. I could see Houston maybe covering, but if the Chargers fall 1-3, that's ridiculous. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Moving on to the 4 p.m. games, Arizona versus Carolina. The Cards should win this game. Panthers won last week, but it was a divisional game, so you could have predicted that. I didn't, obviously. They beat them last year, but Kyler Murray was out. I'm going to go with the Cardinals here. Patriots at Packers. This is the lock of the week. Mac Jones is out anyways. If he was playing, I'm still going with the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVPs at home. He can lose to Bill Belichick, but he won't lose to Bill Belichick when he's at home against a backup quarterback, which is probably going to be Brian Hoyer. I think it is. So, yeah, no, that's the lock of the week. Broncos versus Vegas. Vegas is 0-3. I picked them back-to-back weeks, and they've lost. They could have beat the Cardinals easy. The Titans are up in that game. They ended up crawling back. Couldn't get it done. I don't care that Vegas is 0-3. I really don't. And I don't care that the Broncos are 2-1 because the Raiders have been playing better football than the Broncos. I'm telling you, I have Russell Wilson in my fantasy. I've been watching this guy play, and it is absolutely horrendous. The Broncos have not been playing good. They cannot score. I don't think haven't even scored past 16 points. Their offense has been trash. Their first 30 drives, only 2 resulted in a touchdown. I'm taking Vegas at home. No way they fall to 0-4. KC at Tampa. This one is honestly up for grabs. The easy thought is KC. Rematch of Super Bowl 55. Tough loss last week by the Chiefs. Didn't expect that to happen. The game is in Tampa. Brady's offense has been horrid. And the Bucs defense, though, has been good. Haven't been giving up a lot of points. I think this is the game, though, when Brady will finally say, okay, let's get it rolling. Hendon achieves his second loss this season, though. I don't know. It's going to be hard, but it does create a good narrative for that AFC West division. And at the end of the day, it's hard to out the GOAT. So I'm going to go Tampa Sunday Night Football, win at home. And last but not least, Rams at 49ers. Now listen, 49ers, tough loss. Jimmy G sucks. But the 49ers have beaten the Rams the past 6 times in the regular season. They've swept them 3 years in a row. Should have went to the Super Bowl last year if Jarquez Tart caught this interception or this pass. That wasn't an interception. It's a big game because if the 49ers beat the Rams, then they become first in the division based off of divisional matchups because they already beat the Seahawks. And they're at home and they're going to be hungry. Are the Rams going to win back-to-back divisional games, Cardinals, then 49ers? Who knows? Matthew Stafford's been shaky as well. It would be a 49ers thing to get this win here. So I'm going to roll with my team, Bayful 49ers, on Monday Night Football. That's been it for the predictions. Stay tuned. Hopefully I just want to break that 10. I just want to break 10 predictions right in a week. Is that too hard? Is that too hard? Maybe I should switch some up. But you know what? We're going to keep it moving. Stay tuned. Check out my TikTok for more videos throughout the week. Take it easy.